So I'm with Kieron Gillen, this man with a sexy accent. All right, how are you today?
I'm fine, slightly bemused by that, but thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's talk about Uber. So there have been some interesting things going on. Do you want us to hate the rape or the Nazis more?
I would hate the Nazis more. There's nothing about Uber you're meant to like.
Right.
You know, it's that kind of like, yes, this is all horrible.
Awesome.
You know, it's the kind of like, there's a question of Uber is generally written from a stake of absolute, I said horror, you know, this is basically a moral outrage.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it's very different from everything else I've done for Marvel or like, you know, my indie work at Image. The sense of that, you know, and like the rape thing, I've never written a rape scene, and I've deliberately never done it because I think they're desperately overdone in comics.
Right.
But you know, there's 1.5 million rapes in that time. You know,
right.
I mean, if you compare death rate to these all kind of things, and I end up deciding it was actually more immoral not to include it.
Right.
As in, like, if I'm going to say, you know, you really must understand what was actually going on here. This is like, you know, existence in extremis, and this is the situation we are entering here. So yeah, I just wanted to basically make people go, fucking hell, this was it. This was that it.
Right. Talking about some of your more recent Marvel works, there's kind of some storylines here, like, for instance, in Iron Man, it seems to kind of almost have like an Ocean's 11 theme. Is that like an intentional kind of placement of certain movie themes in the comic?
Right. Basically, I wanted to, you know, I'm doing it's like the 50th year anniversary of Iron Man, and we kind of wanted to do a story that kind of harked back to that. And of course, he's in the middle of space. I'm trying to look at a way to pull this around, and I kind of end up sort of thinking of all these sort of themes, and then with the idea that let's basically take the two great myths of Nevada, and the two myths of Nevada are, of course, Vegas and Area 51.
Right.
And let's take the, you know, this and do a kind of X-Files meets Ocean 11 kind of vibe.
Right.
And immediately you're just going to get a fun frish on by taking these two kind of pop cultural sort of things and merging them together. So yeah, literally the first issue is very clearly a heist story, but we're doing it with some alien trappings and some like First Contact alien infiltration story.
Right.
And, you know, and that kind of you know, and the second issue is a bit more about the kind of the X-Files paranoia thing, and the third issue kind of brings them both back together. And I don't want to say too much, but yeah, it leans more into the Vegas, but it becomes this big, almost like it's War of the Worldsy, and I mean that in the kind of the radio drama rather than the actual the effect of the radio drama. But yeah, it's fun. You know, it's basically me having games of all these fantastically iconic things. Probably the next project that's going to be announced. It's not been announced. I did doing a book for Image. I think it's probably going to come out in October now, like in time for New York. It's called Free, as in THREE, and it's basically about the Spartan slave hunts. The Spartans basically used to, you know, completely terrorise their slave class, the helots, and basically the story is 3 helots, not accidentally, but end up killing a Spartan leader, an E4, and go on the run. And then they send the 300 after the 3. So it's kind of like an inversion of the Thermopylae story.
So another kind of alternate history.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's much more, it's ridiculously over-researched, this thing. This is all kind of like quite grounded, but it's kind of meant to be like a Billy Bragg folk song. This is kind of like, these people never got heroic stories about them. I'm doing a heroic story about these people who entirely, you tell the story of like Thermopylae, the 300 facing a million, you know, and each one of the 300 had 3 slaves with them. Those 900 also died there, you know, and they died for a freedom they never possessed. And it's kind of, it's like, it's a story about everything that's wrong in Sparta and essentially how that kind of applies to what we do today. So on the hand, it's very political, on the other hand, it's a complete full-on action story.
Awesome.
I think it's good. Me and Ryan Kelly and Geordie Belair.
Cool. Well, that's something definitely to look forward to. When can we see you next? What convention are you going to next?
New York, actually. I think that's the next. Right. I'm also some in the UK, you know, Melksham and Fort Bubbler and stuff like that.
Right.
But you know, it's UK. It's very easy to do.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Really, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.